Hail and welcome, West to Hail. It's ᛗᚪᚾᚪᚋ᚞, ᛗᚩᚾᚪᚋ᚞ᚪ of Woden's Earth, the ancestral hall. And once again, for this morning's dag post, I'm in the North of ᛗᚩᚾᚪᚋ᚞ in Wackersfield, which is in the West Thirding of Yorkshire. Thought I'd share a tipple with you. So we're working our way through this Moniac with you for the last few weeks. It was a shame to find out that ᛗᚩᚾᚪᚋ᚞ᚪ from Dragon's Den have actually technically gone out of business. Well, they have gone out of business. They didn't pay the debts, they didn't pay the staff, anything. Shame. Really nice mead, but like us, the mead company's still going. That's really nice mead. Moniac's nice mead. Lime Bay is nice mead, and the stuff I make is not a bad tipple. Drink hail. First of all, I apologise for the more plain backdrop of just the Grim Raven, my runic symbol, but I have got some things going on my ᛗᚪᚾ and my runic ᛗᚪᚾ at the moment that are basically not for filming, so I have had to disguise the Hioth today with my personal banner, so I can do this. Unusual, I've got no notes, folks. That's something that's been on my mind for a few weeks, and then I realised last week, one of the things what I said last week was, I was talking about Heaven Fire, Dunnor's Flaming Axe, and I was saying, no, as Anglo-Saxon heathens, should we be using this instead of Thor's Hammer, Mjolnir? And I'd just like to say to that, nothing I say is absolute. So I've been doing this a long time, not the videos that have been on my path, but don't make me any more of an expert or any less of an expert than anybody else, because we don't have one holy book. We don't have one church of Odin or Woden or heathenism. It's so splintered and an individual. To be fair, one person's opinion is as good as another's, and that's what's brought me around to today. And basically what's really been burning back in my mind, I had a conversation, well, over Messenger with Ricky Collins from the Done It Right. He messaged me the week and he sent me a picture of Edda Havamal, a new copy that I'd not seen before. I've got to admit, I haven't picked up a copy yet, but I'm gonna. It's in my wish list. I've had other things to buy at the moment, and it is just another Havamal, but it's like he said, you can't have too many, and he's right, you can't. And most of the literature that I own is Norse Germanic. I've got a lot of Anglo-Saxon literature. I've got what's out there, or pretty much a lot of what's out there that I think is of any worth and of any note. So I'm happy, and more stuff is coming to light, hopefully a lot less Christianised. So I've got a pile of books down here, Eddas and Havamals. I'll just show you the stash. Right, all of these are either an Edda and a Havamal, or I've got a Vospel out there that's from the Eddas, obviously. I've not brought the big Acer True Edda out because I don't put any credence to it. I was trying, and then they invented the Odinist Edda as well, and it's the same blooming book in a different cover. Right, so they're ripping people off the Northern Society. So once I saw that, it's just like, that's their book, it's up to them, whatever. Nah, don't work for me. So I've not brought that one out, but I do own it, and I do genuinely sometimes go back and flick through some of it, but then again I go back and flick through some of the Book of Enoch sometimes as well, because the Books of Enoch hold a lot of ancient spiritual and magical things to find out and read. And this is also a difference. Sometimes when I'm speaking, because I have got a runic path or magical path, whatever you want to call it, as well as an ancestral heathen path. I sometimes may say or explain things from a point of view that doesn't always either sit well with people or doesn't kind of sync with them, and that's because they're just in a heathen mindset or whatever, because not everybody is on a magical path. Not everybody should touch runes. Yeah, they're not for everybody. It's simple as that, not as a ruler. So I thought it's like the biggest part of my journey was on the Norse path, and then I've developed this Anglo-Saxon side to me that hungers and thirsts for more and more genuine information, what we can try and find about as ancestors. But just to show I'm unbiased, I just wanted to do this one today. I also have some Eddas on my Kindles. The most obvious one is Snorri Sturluson's. I do not have a hard copy. I will never buy a hard copy because I just see it as a plagiaristic, Christianised piece of work. And hand on heart, if you get something from Snorri's Edda, fantastic. I know a lot of people in Iceland do. My gut friend John Helgi, and obviously because he's from Iceland, Snorri was Icelandic, so obviously out there Snorri has a totally different level of acceptance, whereas maybe away from Iceland there's so much more out there we can look at that we have diverged. Everyone says it different, don't they? Okay, you're gonna see when I flip through these books in a minute. I'm not going to spend ages on all of them and that, but the different people have written it a different way or translated it a different way. They've used different words or even different explanations, and I think, well, they can't all be right. They can't all be wrong. So then it's like, well, where do we really stand? Could I translate it for myself? No. I wouldn't be able to read the original Icelandic texts or whatever they are that they've come from. So I have to kind of put my hope and my faith in the translator that they do a decent job of it, really. That was just for thirst. And I'm lining my stomach for solstice weekend. So, when Ricky first contacted me, he goes, oh look, this is a pocket Edda, or pocket of Havamal. And then he says it's not exactly pocket size, but most of them are reasonably pocket size when they call pocket size. This one is so old, and you can tell because it even says Ravenwing on it, which is one of the earlier names I used to call myself. And it's got folks like the backing, and it's copyright 2013, this one, but you know, so it is quite old, and it's Thorpe's edition of Havamal, and I really do like Thorpe. I think it's quite plain and easy to read in comparison to others. I do like it how he's wrote the titles in runes underneath the actual title, and for some reason he decided it was a good thing to have some note paper in the back in case you want to make notes in your book. I never write books unless I've got a writing book. Yeah, this sits on my shelf now. I don't carry it anymore, but this was my go-to Havamal that used to go everywhere with me, and you can see just how battered it actually is. Thorpe is a good beginner. It's a good person to read for a beginner because it's not too complicated. Let's put that there, I won't disturb anything. Benjamin Thorpe's Völuspá. This is a really, again, it's got the notes in the back, it's cool. I don't write in it, but the Völuspá is eternal. And if you don't know it, if you haven't read it yet, then you should. I'm not going to explain it to you. I've talked about Völuspá before. Well, this is a beautiful little copy to keep in your work bag, or you know, in your little day sack when you go out, so you've always got some spiritual guidance with you. Okay, Ben Thorpe again is actual younger Edda. Oh look, that's one of my old kindred bookmarks what I made. Woden's Earth, the Northern Dawn Kindreds. Images from the past forging the reality of our future. I love slogans. I'm pretty good at slogans. Come on, give me that. I'm pretty good at slogans, man. Yeah, well read again, because they're easy to read and that kind of thing you can take with you. This is his version of the Elder Edda. So you get them as a pair, because they've got all the different lays in them. Vafthrûdnir, ᛖᚩᚾᚪᚋᚪ at the beginning, obviously. Havamal's in there. So Benjamin Thorpe, especially for a beginner, if you want something really, really easy reading, Ben Thorpe is, put your faith in that. Then I've got this. Now, this is my first copy. This is my first copy I give away to someone in Army. And then I bought another copy, and I bought a second one with it, and I sent that all to someone who was serving on frontline Army. ᛗᚩᚾᚪᚋ᚞ᚪ and Havamal in the both in the same book. Okay, and then it says ᛗᚩᚾᚪᚋ᚞ᚪ as well. It's not just ᛗᚩᚾᚪ, but it's Bellows translation, but compiled by Brian Wilton. Right, so this is a little number. So he's still used Thorpe's translation, but again, he's split it up and he's called it Havamal rather than Havamal, you know. So again, is he right? Or is Thorpe's original translation right? Or someone else's, or, you know, right? But again, it's really, really good to have. I like this one because it's got my two favourite poems in there, which is Havamal and ᛗᚪᚾᚪᚋᚪ. So that is the one, that is my everyday carry. It goes in my work bag, it's never away from me. Absolutely love this little book. And it is kind of cargo pocket size, or back pocket size, coat pocket size. It's not going in your front pocket without being a bit uncomfortable. Okay, my oldest and dearest actual full-size Edda. It still smells lovely. It is so old. I don't know when the copyright to this one was, this particular edition. I don't know if I can find it anywhere. Okay, this reissue from 1999. Yeah, and this is pretty much the first one other than Snorri's that I came across. It's Caroline Larrington, and £8.99. You'd probably pay nearly 20 quid for this book now. It's probably got a different cover. It's not the easiest one to follow, especially when it was the first one I got. I did my head in, but now I'm older, wiser, hopefully. And yeah, to be honest, it's the sayings of high one are there again, so Havamal. Yeah, and there's lots of notes as well with this one, so it's always good to have notes that you can like look up and read up on and see why she's saying. This was the first one that put me onto the idea of the Norse gods, at least, having disabilities. Yeah, okay, so and it's like I'm not going to go into loads and loads, but it also put me into this mindset because she actually mentions that Heimdall hides his ear under the tree. Right? So it's not just your hearing, it's not that he's deaf, because he's not. Right? But as Odin puts an eye in the well, so Heimdall has an ear at the roots of the tree, so he can hear everything in the 9 realms. That's what I got out of that book, you know what I mean? I've not seen it in none. I absolutely love Caroline Larrington's Edda. I realise I'm going on a bit. Henry Adam Bellows. Everybody's probably got a copy of Henry Adam Bellows, haven't they? You know what I mean? It's an alright Edda, but it's not written right well, to be honest. The way it's written it makes it a bit hard to read, but it smells lovely. I'm a book sniffer. I really, really like the smell of books. Good smelling books. Some sound rubbish, don't they? You've got to have it on your shelf, just because of who wrote it, and that it's one of the named ones in it. Now, in another video, I once mentioned Ramus B. Anderson, but I didn't bring the book with me, and this is it. Okay, Younger Edda, 1880. This one really smells nice. What I really like about this as well, it is such big writing, and my eyesight these days is shocking. Shocking, yeah. So realistically, this is really, really easy for me to read. But it's just got such good stuff in it that some of it you don't find in other places. So again, if that's something that you could fancy picking up, there's the ISBN for you. Okay, so you can try and look that up if that book interests you. It's worth having in your collection. Okay, sure we've heard of Olive Bray. The Elder or Poetic Edda, commonly known as ᛖ᚞᚞ᚪ Edda. That's what I like about this book. It goes straight past Snorri, the plagiarist, who plagiarised ᛖ᚞᚞ᚪ Edda. Volume 1. Right, this is one of them reprints. So it's not always easy to read. It's quite small writing. It's very black on very white paper. You know, it's not exactly fast mail. Again, it's not the easiest one to follow, but the good thing it gives you in Norse at one side and in English at the other side, so you can have a look at it in the different languages. It's worth having. I have read it. It's not my go-to one. It's a bit hard going as a go-to one. It won't be the first one that I picked up, but you've got to have it in your collection, guys, if you can. Again, ISBN if you haven't got that one. It's the last one now, you'll be really glad to know. Mike is just about to keep it under 20 minutes yet. Right, The Words of Odin, counsel and advice for guests, wanderers and seekers of wisdom. A new rendering of Havamal for the present age. Robin Artison, illustrations by Jessica Trainham. Some of you may have seen this, some of you may have this. This weird. This is a book I think everybody should have. It is actually really easy to read, because instead of a holier than thou, thum, thy, this, thy, them rubbish, right, that's hard to read, this is just straightforward English. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's changed words to make it understandable to people reading today, and I really, really do like it. He's dedicated it to Gandra Hodin. Okay, and if you just look at the inner cover there, it actually splits the chapters of Havamal up for you properly. So, Guest Starter, which is Wise Counsel, Guest Friends and Travellers. Lord Fafnir, counsel given to Lord Fafnir. Runetel, the winning of the runes. Odin's ᛗᚩᚾᚪᚋ, the spells and magic songs of Odin. Then notes to your text, and appendix Havamal in Old Norse again. So at the end, if you really want it, yeah, they're all Havamal in Old Norse, so you could learn to read it. Like I say, it's just. I know a third spell. If I have great need to bind the hands of my enemies, I can blunt the edges of their blades. Their swords and staffs can bite no more. It's just so easy how it's worded. There's some nice artwork in it as well. I do quite like the artwork that's accompanied it. Between false friends, the fire of affection burns hot for 5 days, but then the 6th day dawns, and all that friendship cools and sours away. Again, no holier than thou. Yeah, just really, really nice, straightforward. translation. It's one that's been like overly changed to simplify it for everyone's understanding, but although I don't really like that sometimes, this one, yeah, this is often my bedtime reading in between other books when I've got no new to read or I'm deciding what to do. This will go to bed and I'll be reading Havamal before sleep. It's not a holy book, is it? And even when I was following Norse, I never saw it as a holy book or the book to rule them all kind of thing. But it is a really good collection of mythology and poetry from his ancestors. That's, like I said, the worrying thing to me is like, how can so many people be translating it all so different sometimes? And that's the burning issue I've got. It's just like, surely the first word in Havamal, right, is the same word. So everybody should be translating it's the same word. And every word after that. You know, who gives someone the right to say, I'm not going to use that word, I'm going to use this one? It means same. Does it? Or does it take away from it? You decide for yourselves. I'm going to bring it to close there. So this is Sunna's Dag. This post will be out for you tomorrow. I'll be at work when it comes out. Enjoy my little gay house. So take care, stay safe in Woden's Keep.